What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Spreading the News. This is episode 29. I am your host, Chase Carucci, and we are joined by Brian.
Hello, everybody. This is good. The vibes are high. We could have been doing episode 29, and the Yankees could not be playing baseball anymore, but they still are. At a game tonight, we have at least 4 more games left. I'm feeling good. I don't know about you guys. It's more like relief, but I'm happy to be here. This could have been a depressing, sad, see ya episode, but it's not. It's a happy, let's go episode.
How are you doing, Danny?
What up? My mic's not plugged in.
Oh. Do you want us to restart?
No, it's fine.
All right. Well, I guess we'll keep going then.
But yeah, I've like Brian said, PVO, right, Brian?
PVO, positive vibe only. Let's go.
Yeah,
that's hype.
The morale is extremely high right now. Feeling real good going into the series. Obviously, it's always scary going up against Houston. Danny, though, I remember a few episodes back, wanted Houston, so he's gonna get what he wants. And
I wanted Houston in May.
Me and Brian were a little worried about that, but I guess Brian, our worst fear has come to fruition here.
I know.
And we're just gonna.
What did you think? It was so obvious it was gonna happen, though. Everybody in the world kind of figured it.
It wasn't obvious this last week.
Yeah, really. It might have been Cleveland, Houston for a little bit.
Well, I'm talking if we were to make it to the ALCS, like it would be Houston.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be anyone else.
I was talking with Stanko, like the Mariners could have easily swept Houston. They just didn't take care of their games.
Close games.
You know?
If it wasn't for Yordan Alvarez, they might have.
I don't know if that's a good sign or if that's a bad sign, considering that the Astros swept the Mariners with their great pitching. But also maybe a good sign because the Mariners could have scratched a couple games. I don't know. I guess we just have to take it for what it's worth, just determine what you guys think. But this Cleveland Guardians series that just wrapped up, the Yankees are advancing from the American League Division Series to the American League Championship Series, which, like Brian said, starts tonight. Yankees have at least 4 more games, assuming if they don't get knocked out, then they will move on to the World Series, which they have not been to since 2009. I can't believe we're actually at this point in the American League Championship Series. But boys, let's talk about the Cleveland series a little bit. We can go through, I guess, whatever you guys want. So if either of you want to just jump in and start us off, go ahead by all means.
Let's go. Brian, you got it.
I don't even know what what I want to talk about. There's so much you could talk about. It went 5 games. They didn't play the schedule. 2 games at home got rained out. They had to be pushed back. So, this was just a wild series kind of from start to finish, going 5 games plus the 2 rainouts. I think I saw the Yankees only played 5 games in 17 days or something now. So they haven't really been able to get into a rhythm, but they pulled it off. That's all you can ask for. Any way you can win the playoffs is good. You see on the other side of this, you see on the NL side, you have 2 teams that were combined 36 games out of first place at the end of the season are now in the NLCS. And one of those teams is going to be going to the World Series in Philadelphia and San Diego. So really anything could happen. The Braves and Dodgers get knocked out just for the Yankees to survive. It's a good thing. It's Houston and the Yankees, as Danny said. But Cleveland gave us trouble. Obviously they were going to. Garrett Cole was, huge for us. Two big starts he made. Our starters actually were good the entire series. We got 2 good starts from Nestor. I can't really ask for much better from them. Tyone was just a little unlucky. He didn't start, but he was a little unlucky in his outings. But Cleveland just put the bat on the ball and kind of was lucky, and that was kind of bothering me the whole series. I know you guys we were talking about that. They really did not hit the ball hard many times. There was Naylor's homer, Naylor's double, Kwan's homer, and other than that, it was all dunkers and blue hits. So our pitching really surprised me in a good way this series. I thought it was good. We got to try to keep that going against Houston. Offensively, some guys started out slow. Aaron Judge with maybe the worst start to a postseason series I've ever seen in my entire life. But he figured out when we needed him most yesterday. They figured out a way, and that's all you could ask for, and I'm happy with it.
Danny? Yeah.
The pitching was awesome. As I expected. So, how about I get my credit? I was right about the Bader trade. He hit 3 home runs this series. He was awesome. Can I get some credit? I was the only one that liked
absolutely. You deserve that credit. Bader has been I kept saying Cabrera was going to be the postseason hero. It looks like it might be Harrison Bader so far. So I
Was
mean,
certainly of
there's
the ALCS. Him and Cole and Wandy kind of
he
could share that.
he's definitely the ALDS. I would say offensive hero for sure. Either
Yeah.
him or Stanton. But yeah, continue though. You definitely
Yeah,
deserve the
no, for
credit.
Cole to come out here and just be our ace. Like, he's our ace. Yeah, he's proven it in the playoffs now, and obviously the Guardians are different than the Astros, so he has to go out and prove it again. But there's really no reason not to be confident that he will. And this bullpen, man, we came in with a bunch of questions in our bullpen, and they were awesome. Aside from that blow up in Game 3, which maybe leaving Wandy in too long, bringing in Clark Schmidt wasn't the right move. I don't think. I don't know. I don't think you guys feel it was the right move either. But really, like you said, pleasantly surprised. We thought the bullpen was going to be a problem. We thought that they were going to blow games, and they did blow one game. They blew
I
one
mean,
game,
they did give a game away.
but they
Yeah.
also saved our asses in the other games. Pretty much every other game, the bullpen saved our asses, except for Game 5 when we kind of had a bigger lead to go into. But really, it was a fun series. It was stressful, of course, because it's never not going to be stressful, right? We're never going to sweep.
Right.
We're never gonna win in 4. We had to take it to 5. That's just what we do.
Right.
Me and Chase were actually at the Game 5, at the night game.
Yeah.
I got
And
rained
then
out, and then we couldn't make it yesterday, so that kind of sucked. But
yeah. Danny had an exam. Excuse me. Danny
yeah,
had an exam, and I just so much going on. I couldn't be there, unfortunately, and I was really upset over it. But I was in class, and I missed the first. I didn't get home until around like the third inning.
damn.
To actually
You
watch
missed
on
Judge
TV.
and Stanton.
Yeah, but I heard Judge on the radio, and listening to that crowd after knowing that I could have been there was like on the radio at least while I was on the way home was just like I was happy obviously because they were winning, but like obviously I was sad because I wish I was there. But I'm just it was electric yesterday from what I saw on TV and from what I heard from people that were there. Um, but while we're on the bullpen discussion, I kind of want to talk about that and just highlight a few of our guys and highlight a situation that we ran into in that Game 3 in Cleveland. You guys mentioned. We'll start off, I guess, with the bad news first. Um, they got Wandy went for the 3 inning save, right? Wasn't it? There was 3 innings. It was his third inning of work,
No,
and
it was a second.
it was his second.
Like he threw 1 2/3. He was going for like 2 innings.
Okay,
I think it would have been like 2 1/3. He was going for.
okay, so yeah, and he came in and he let up a couple of typical soft, weak contact to the Cleveland Guardians because that's just what they are. And then Boone made the decision to go to Clark Schmidt in that situation against the heart of their order, I guess you would say. Um, and pretty much Clark came in and he couldn't get it done, and it was a really hard situation for him to bring him into. So that makes you wonder at that time, where is Clay Holmes? Where's Clay Holmes? And Clay Holmes didn't know where Clay Holmes was. Clay Holmes knows, or he's noted that he should have been in the game. Excuse me again, geez. He noted that he should have been in the game, and then Luis Severino in the post game talked about it and said, "Yeah, I'm not sure where Clay was. Clay is our closer. I don't really understand the decision, but it was weird. It was like the whole clubhouse in that moment. So at the time, they had just got walked off on. So the Cleveland was leading the series 2-1 after that game. At the time, it was almost like Boone was losing the clubhouse, and it was like the morale. Like right now, we said is at an all-time high, but the morale after that game, from a clubhouse standpoint, and from being down 2-1 in a game that they should have taken care of easily, was really low because Boone lost the clubhouse that night, from what it seemed. But they obviously prevailed. What were you guys' thoughts on Boone?
I mean, Clark
Game?
Schmidt's coming out of the bullpen. What the fuck is going on? I mean, we Clay Holmes looked good. Like obviously we've had our troubles with Clay Holmes, but he's looked good of late. In the series, he also looked great. I wanted to point that out. In all the games he pitched, he looked great. But yeah, Boone said after that they didn't want to use him back to back because of the injury, and he was in an emergency. I don't know how first and second 2-run lead isn't an emergency, 1-run lead isn't an emergency. But I guess it wasn't enough for Boone. I guess he's fine with bringing in Clark and blowing the game. Um, it was just weird, and the fact that Clay Holmes said like he woke up expecting to pitch, ready to pitch, nothing
It
was
was
holding him
just like a
back, and
weird
just the
handled
lack of
situation.
communication
Yeah.
is weird to me. Like it's weird. Like we're in a postseason series, usually everybody's talking to each other because you want to put the best guys out there, and we love Clark, but that's not his role. It's not that he's not our closer. I don't really want him in that situation. He's a guy that could eat innings and get outs, but in that situation, I don't think he was the right move. Obviously, he wasn't because he blew the game. And yeah, it was just really frustrating. And hearing everybody after saying, "Where's Clay? Like Clay should have been in. We were expecting Clay to
Like
be in. He's
the
our closer."
players. Yeah. It
It's
was
just
weird.
just weird. It was weird. And after that, it kind of felt like, all right, what's going on now? Like it's like you said, losing the clubhouse, and it's hard to recover from a loss like that. I'm glad they did. They obviously came back out firing, won game four right the next day. But it's hard to recover from a loss like that. Up two in the ninth, giving up three to get walked off on. It's tough to recover, but I'm proud of them that they did. It was awesome, and
Yeah.
they played real good baseball for the last 18 innings of the series.
I just want to intervene and ask Brian what he thinks of Boone, because Brian always has good stuff to say about Boone when he's criticizing him. I have to hear what Brian's thoughts on that whole blunder.
Well, that game and after that game was the worst I had felt about them the whole series, and for a while because horrendous loss. That was the worst managed game of the series, and one of the worst managed games I've ever seen by Boone. Then that's hard to do for him as the worst manager in baseball. And I just like we were saying, you guys were saying like it was just adding like insult to injury. Like I'm seeing them lose like that. I'm already devastated, and we're all saying it. And at the time, like where was Clay during that? Then you see all the tweets and interviews, and all the players are like, "Yeah, we don't know. Like we wanted Clay there," and Clay himself's like, "Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to be in there." And then Boone like just saying that he like they talked, but then it's not like somebody's lying, and like it was just like embarrassing. Like it looked so bad. And you say, well, if that was to go down 2-1, like then we had it was like that was just so bad. Like Danny said, proud of them for like bouncing back from that, but that was like I just didn't even know what to think about that. That was like it made no sense. Like nothing did. Like if you're going to, I don't know, if you're gonna like do that, I don't nothing about it made sense. The emergency comment is what really made me mad. Like Danny said before, he said we're only use Clay in emergency. How is up
How
one
is
run with the
that not
bases
an
loaded in a
emergency?
playoff game, not an emergency? What is an emergency to Aaron Boone? Like a guy gets struck by lightning on the mound? What what constitutes an emergency in that situation? I don't know. And I do, we've been harder on Clay because of his struggles in the second half, but in his postseason appearances before that game, he earned a spot to at least he earned the chance to get out of that there. And we didn't even let him try. But whatever, all worked out in the end.
Yeah. It
All right,
was. Go ahead, Danny.
Boone boneheaded decision in that, but like for the wins, I want to give Boone props. Our wins, he didn't do great in their two losses. The two losses because he brought in Tyone in the 10th inning of game two. Tyone blew it. Like when we were tied heading into the extra
Right.
innings, he brought in Tyone, which was weird to me because Tyone was going to be our game five starter, and he's now going to be our game one starter. Why bring Tyone out of the bullpen instead of Herman if he's going to start? So I thought when bringing Tyone out, that would mean if we need, Herman would be the starter. We didn't see Herman once, and Herman was awesome in the regular season. I don't understand what they're doing with him. I don't like what they're doing with him. I think he should be the game one starter tonight. Um, but anyway, in the wins, like hats off to Boone for those. Hats off to Boone. Like he managed the bullpen perfectly, and it showed on the scoreboard. Like we won when he did that. Game one, especially. Like game one, we all gave him props because he's bringing in the right guys at the right time. Even when we were like, "Huh, what's going?" Like maybe too early for Loizaga here, but
Happened in game 5 too.
yeah, game five, he brought in Loizaga in the sixth after Nestor seemed to be dealing, and we were like, "Do we like it or do we not?" And Loizaga gets us 2 innings of great, great pitching. Then bring in Clay, bring in Wandy for the lefties. I love how he managed the bullpen in our wins. So I want to give Boone credit for the wins, but
Yeah.
you can't be losing us games like that because you just can't. So 3 out of 5 of the games, Boone was good, which I don't know how.
Which is
That's
scary
60%.
though. You
That's,
gotta
that's
be
Not
good
good.
5 out of 5. I'm glad you brought that up though, because I'm glad you brought up the Herman point, because what actually are they doing with Herman? Like, is he gonna follow up Tyone tonight? Like who? Like we don't know. Like
Yeah, I
Herman was
hope
so
so.
good.
I want to see Herman.
He
You
was
know, I'm
so
a
good for
Herman
us in the
guy.
regular.
On
Like Danny, the game that we were at, that night game, like that game 5 that was supposed to happen, Tyone was starting that game. Why would they not have started Herman that game? That's
Doesn't make
like
any sense.
it doesn't make sense to me. It will never make sense to me.
And if they were planning on starting Tyone, I think that's the wrong decision. I think it should be Herman, but fine. You want to start Tyone. Why is Herman not in that 10th inning? Why are you bringing Tyone in that 10th inning in game 2? And we've said it, like, Herman just is more fit for the bullpen than Tyone is. Like, I feel like Herman is more electric. He comes in, he's got the stuff. He could get out in a relief appearance. He's done it before. This is Jameson Tyone's first relief appearance ever. You bring him in the 10th inning of game 2. Of course he's going to blow it. Of course he is. And a pitcher that gets off slow starts, it just doesn't really make sense why Herman wasn't used in that spot if he's not going to be starting. Because how are we going the whole series and not using
one of our best pitchers,
real weapon, weapon?
Yeah, it was really weird. Hopefully we get to see him tonight, though. Follow up Tyone if things go well.
I mean, the guy hasn't pitched in so long. We expect him to just go out there and be good. It's like,
I know.
True. But what also didn't make sense to me, though, going back to that game when Tyone came in the 10th inning, obviously the Yankees ended up losing that game because Tyone gave up the winning run. But Herman also has experience in coming out of the bullpen. It just like the move just didn't make much sense to me at all.
It did.
And obviously it showed that it didn't work. But they moved on and they conquered. And I want to talk about conquering a little bit because Garrett Cole absolutely freaking shoved this series and I think has earned respect from many, 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 many Yankees fans. Last year goes out, pitches in that Red Sox wildcard game, gives up 1,000 runs, loses the game for the Yankees, ends their season. Comes out this year after everyone's saying Nestor should be the game 1 starter. Garrett Cole hasn't earned, and I'm one of those people. I said that Nestor deserved the game 1 and that Garrett hasn't earned it because of his regular season play and easily getting flustered. And he showed he showed Houston Astros Garrett Cole in this series. Like that was the Garrett Cole we signed. Thoughts? Who wants to jump in and just show their love?
Love him. I mean, in 2 huge games, game 1, you want to set the tone, especially in a best of 5 series. Game 1 is so huge. Comes out 6 1/3, 8 strikeouts, 1-run baseball. Awesome. I thought they even could have kept him in that 7th inning, but he let up a base runner and they wanted to go to the bullpen. Fine. Worked out. And then game 4, backs against the wall, is the saying. We need him. We need our ace. This is where our ace, they set the tone early, and then they either save us or win us the series later. That's what your ace is supposed to do in the postseason. And he goes out there, 7 innings, 2 earned, 8 strikeouts again. I mean, just awesome stuff from him. Obviously, he's going to give up with a homer. He gave up the solo home run to Kwan, and then the solo home run to Naylor in the second game 4. We know going in there, Cole is probably going to give up a home run in a game. It's just got to be a solo home run. And he proved this series he's going to give up that home run. But if it's a solo home run, he's going to be fine. So that's kind of what we have to do in Houston. This season isn't the on-base team like everybody thinks. They slug. Houston slugs. So they're probably going to hit a home run off Cole, but let's make it a solo home run. All right? Jordan can get us for a solo home run, and we're good. Cole is good. He'll settle down, and he'll get us the outs and the innings we need and the strikeouts we need. Just awesome stuff from Cole, and he was fired up. And I know we're probably going to talk about the Josh Naylor home run a little bit, but Josh Naylor going to rock the baby. He was rocking the baby, which I heard it wasn't at Cole, but he did kind of look directly at Cole running around third base. If you guys saw that angle, he looked literally right at Cole, but it was a thing that he says that about his home run balls, but still doing it in a game you're losing and being that hype and like, you're my ball, son. Like, dude, come on. You're losing. You could do your home run celebration. Like I know they do this, which I kind of like. But yeah, and then Cole's interview after was awesome. Just whatever. It's cute.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Whatever. It's cute.
Just awesome stuff from Cole all around the series, on and off the field, I guess. But what's more important is on the field. And Ace Cole is back. Never left.
Brian, you said he earned a lot of your respect. I want to hear you touch upon that a little bit.
Well, I've been saying, or after his second start of this playoffs, I said I always loved Garrett Cole. Fell out of love with him during this regular season, but now I am back in. I am totally in love with Garrett Cole once again because what he did in this postseason, like, we had been challenging him like throughout a lot of our episodes, like this guy's got to figure it out, like we need him for the playoffs, and he showed up in like a way that you can't imagine being better. He had a 2.03 in this series, 16 strikeouts and 13.1 innings. Like, he was getting the big strikeout when he needed. We won both of his starts like pretty handily. Like he was a guy both times where we were like ready to go, like behind him, and he is a huge reason as to why I won this series. It feels really good being able to hand the ball to a guy like that now. I'm pumped for his starts in Houston or against Houston. And I'm just really proud of him. Like he didn't really care about all that stuff that was going on. Like you guys were saying, like, he like with the Nestor stuff, and he could have easily gotten flustered from the Naylor thing. And he actually said that he didn't see it in the moment, which he's like, it wouldn't have bothered me if I did, but I'm like, oh, kind of glad he didn't see it in the moment. But he came back and was awesome. And again, like he totally embodied like the ace that we've been wanting to see this series. The guy that you're ready to go like to war for behind, and he's going to bear down no matter what. He gave us length. He gave us not a lot of runs. He like it was awesome, and he was still ready to go after throwing 110 pitches the day before. Like and almost came in yesterday if they would have needed him. So like he's just ready to go to war like at any time, and I love it. I'm totally sold back on Cole now. So happy about him. So proud of him. Can't wait to see him again.
The day after the game 4, when the game 5 was supposed to be played on Monday, obviously it didn't, but it came out when Cole got to the stadium. He told Boone like I could go tonight, and Boone said he would kind of be reluctant. Like, you're not pitching. Like I love the attitude, but you coming into that baseball game is a bad move. And obviously it would have been electric. The stadium would have been hype, but bad move. Bad move.
You
You're not
think
coming
so?
in
I
after
was arguing
10 pitches.
about this too. Like I don't think so. I think it would have been awesome.
The
I think it
day
would have
after
been
pitching
awesome.
110 pitches, maybe yesterday when he was warming up the bullpen to relieve Wandy if he got into trouble. But the day after throwing 110 pitches,
Yeah,
you're not coming in.
I'm in agreement with Danny. I think it's just too big of a risk. But
I mean, Boone would have never like let it happen. I'm just saying, like if they needed him, I think like why not? Like if you really
No,
needed him, I would have done it.
yeah, but the fact that he even like went to Boone and was like, "Yo, like I'm available tonight. Like let me pitch if you need me. Like if you need me, I'm good to go." After 110 pitches the night before, I mean, you don't hear of that in today's game of baseball. That's like it's such like a 90s and before mentality of that. That's like an old baseball mentality, and it's just really awesome to see
Well,
from him.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but the two biggest Yankee haters on the planet, Jared Carrabis and KFC Barstool, are doing a podcast together, and they were like going nuts to how fake tough guy that was. They're like, Garrett Cole, the most fake tough guy thing ever. He just said that to Boone so it would get out in the media. Like, shut the fuck up. All they care about is the Yankees. They want to claim they hate the Yankees. Literally all they care about. And I disagree with them. Like I could like they wasn't like a fake thing. Like I truly believe like if Boone was like, Garrett, you ready? He would have been like, fuck yeah, and would have gotten out there. Like,
Yeah. But what would be the situation we used him? Like high leverage? I love Loizaga. I want to give Johnny Loizaga some credit. Early season struggles, picked it up and was great in this postseason.
he's our best guy out of there now.
He is our best guy. And I like that he's not our closer either, because a lot of times there's high leverage situations before the ninth inning where you need outs right there. And I think Loizaga is our best high leverage guy, if that makes sense. I think he's the best high leverage guy. He's the best guy to come in with bases loaded and get out of it. He's the best guy to come in the 6th like they did yesterday and get 2 innings and just get out of it and get us through. I'm so confident in Loizaga when he's out there. We know his attitude. We know how awesome he is. He's always fired up. He was fired up after getting 1 out yesterday. It was awesome. But I love Loizaga. Wanted to give him credit before we move on to the Astros series. So
I want to obviously give Wandy credit. I mean, he's the first pitcher in postseason history to pitch all 5 postseason games.
All 5 games of the ALDS.
Yeah,
absolute warrior.
And if we were to pick an MVP of the series, you could go Garrett Cole, you could go Loizaga, and you could even say Wandy.
Or
Bader, yeah. But there's many guys that contributed to this huge series win. I love Wandy in the closer role. Like if they want to keep running that, I love that. And like they were using Clay in the 8th and Wandy in the 9th. Like I loved that. That was working well.
Well, I don't think that's what they did. Boone said it
They were
too
doing
before the series.
matchups. They were doing
It's the
matchups.
matchups, and that's
Yeah.
what it was. Because Clay Holmes would come in for 1-2-3. Like he came in for 1-2-3. I guess Kwan, Rosario,
Rosario and
or
Ramirez.
no, or he probably yesterday he came in for 2-3-4, which was Rosario, Ramirez, and Gonzalez, two righties, and then Jose Ramirez was a switch. So, and then he was saving Wandy for Naylor and then Jimenez in the 9th. So I think let's say if the 8th inning was scheduled 5, 6, 7, we would have seen Wandy in the 8th, which I kind of like. Obviously, we'd rather have that set closer, but I kind of like how he's not forcing a set closer and he's playing matchups and he's doing it well. He's played matchups well, really. With them two, especially, he played the matchups well.
Yeah. And one more thing that I wanted to mention before we move on to Houston, guys, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa has lost his job. I mean, who could have guessed that Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, first ground ball hit to him in game 1 of his first playoff start, would have botched a ground ball in the first
I
inning.
could have guessed it.
Yeah. I mean, I tweeted on the Twitter account, what inning do we think that Kiner-Falefa gives up his infamous error in Garrett Cole starts? And it literally took him, I think it was 2 outs or 1 out. No, it was 1 out, I think, because he could have turned 2 to end that inning. But yeah, I mean, he's lost his job. So now going into the ALCS, they just lost Hicks. Hicks is out for season to a knee injury from yesterday. Oswaldo Cabrera collided with Hicks. Does Peraza make the roster? Does Marwin Gonzalez take the Aaron Hicks role, that backup outfielder? What do you guys think?
Or does Cabrera go back to left and IKF goes back to short?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think they're gonna do?
The one thing that was rough though was Oswaldo made that error. That was Glaber's fault, but they could look at that because they obviously want IKF to be the shortstop so badly because they don't want to admit they're wrong. But they could look at that and be like, see, Oswaldo made an error. We could put IKF back out there, but it was Glaber's fault for running him in front of him. But
to that, I'd say try Peraza then.
I want IKF to be back. I want it to be Peraza. I want it to be Peraza. Get the young guy in there.
What do you think they're gonna
I don't think they will. I don't think they'll do Peraza. I think it'll almost be, maybe they'll switch it up. Maybe Oswaldo in left a couple games. Maybe they'll try Cabrera in left because that high wall. I mean, maybe they'll try Carpenter in left. I meant to say, because of that high wall in Houston, you don't have to cover as much ground. It's hard to be a defensive. It's easier not to be a defensive liability in Houston in that left field with that wall. I mean, we've seen Yordan do it all year, all career, basically.
I feel like they could even. I might not even be crazy to put Stanton out there.
They said they're thinking about it, about potential situations.
I personally would rather have Stanton out there than Carpenter. He's just better.
Yeah,
me too.
I personally think that they're gonna ride Peraza. I do. I think
really.
So.
I don't think they're doing it.
I think I would have called myself crazy a week ago, but I think after what we saw from this series with Kiner-Falefa, I think they're done with him. I really do think they're done with him because he came in late in the game yesterday as a defensive replacement. He didn't play game 4 or game 5 when they were facing elimination. I mean, you're facing elimination, you throw your best possible lineup out there. I mean, right or wrong, I think
two things that hilarious takeaways I find hilarious. One, it took them to the point of facing elimination to realize IKF ain't your guy. IKF isn't the shortstop. Literally, 162 games in the year, it took you to the point of being down 2-1 to the Cleveland Guardians to realize, maybe IKF isn't. 2, Peraza not being on the roster backfired like that.
Yeah.
I've never seen something backfire really so quickly. Just as we all predicted. I mean, anybody with 2 eyes and have watched the Yankees could have predicted that was going to happen. Literally not putting Peraza on the roster backfire because now you have to play more loser Hicks. And instead of Peraza, I think Peraza would have been moved there if he was on the roster at least. But it's just so funny. Like, it maybe wouldn't be as funny if we lost the series, but just hilarious that those 2 things took place as we all expected, as everyone expected.
It's insane to me. It's like the 3 of us and like just fans in general were able to see that, and like these guys who are getting paid so much to make baseball decisions like that got it so wrong. And like we've been saying since like June, we're like, IKF can't play shortstop. And I know I've said 1,000 times, like, I can't have this guy starting the playoffs for me. He's like, he can't be making errors like that. I've said it so many times, and look what happens. It happened right away.
in
They
the
had to take
first
him out
inning.
in the first inning. It was the first batter. I mean, it like that happened right away, like Danny said. And we were all like, calling for Peraza to be on the roster, which would have helped them tremendously. Now they're lucky they have a chance to do it right this time. We'll see if they do. Now DJ's back in play. That's another complication you have with that.
True.
So I don't know, like, who replaces Hicks, because we know Hicks is off the roster. They could add Peraza, they could add DJ. DJ still said yesterday that he was in pain. I don't know. I
So
don't know if I want to lose DJ for the whole series. Like I don't know. We need to know, or at least he needs to figure out, like, when are you going to be 100%? Is it going to be a week, or is it going to be like 2 days? I don't know.
It's tough not having that day. Like the MLB just fucked up with the scheduling so bad. Having to go, has this ever happened? Having to go play
never.
game 5 of the ALDS and then go right in playing the ALDS and the NLCS on the same night.
That's never happened ever in the
Same
history of
night.
baseball.
I mean,
And you have to go
These Yankees
ALDS
are
right into the
hammered.
ALCS. It's harder to make these decisions. Like for all the guys in charge, it's harder to make this decision. You instead of having 36 hours, you now have 6 hours. It's just it.
I think what I'm hoping and what I think would be the best possible solution. I think you let Castro stay, obviously. I think you let Carpenter stay, obviously. You go Peraza and then you go DJ. So you use Carpenter, obviously assuming DJ can play. So you use Carpenter and then you use LaCastro as your outfield. And even Stanton, Stanton's got to step up in the field. You lose those guys as
Well,
your
if
outfield
Stanton
replacements.
starts the game DH, he can't come in to play the
No, I
field
know,
unless
but
we
I'm
want the
just
pitcher
saying,
to hit.
like, if it comes to a situation where they're making the starting lineup and they need him in the field, like, he should be able to go out and play.
Yeah.
And DJ can take. I think Marluz is on the roster in the first place just in case something happened to Rizzo because no one else can play first. So now DJ can
Oh,
come
that's
back.
true.
He can play first. So
And he can play all infield spots.
exactly. So I
For
think
sure.
if DJ is comfortable enough to play, I think that's the best possible way to go.
It's just
A
if DJ's
replacement of
not
Hicks
though,
and
do we really
Marwin.
want two just pinch hitters on the roster like with Carpenter and DJ? Do we want just two guys that have no
Can you
purpose?
repeat that? I'm totally zoned out. What did you say?
Like let's say DJ isn't ready and he's going to be like purely a pinch hitter. Do we really want two guys on the roster that are serving as a pinch hitter and have no really, unless you're not using Peraza as a pinch hitter? Carpenter. I keep messing up Carpenter's name. If you're not using Carpenter as a pinch hitter, but you don't want to handcuff yourself with two guys that have no use except for pinch hitting. I guess Marluz didn't play until the last game of the series, so he kind of had no use too. But do you really want to handcuff yourself like that and not have the options?
I think with DJ, I don't think it'll come to that because I think he'll be okay enough in the field, right? I don't like it. I think he'll it was his injury wasn't affecting his fielding. It was him at the plate. So if anything, it's going to affect his pinch hitting more than it's affecting his fielding.
Yeah, I mean, they don't want the wear and tear on it, but
true. That's a fair point.
I'd rather have a guy that's all around going to play, like Peraza. Keep DJ off the roster if he's not 100%. Keep him off. Feel bad for him, but keep him off if he's not 100%. The only thing, 7-game series is different, but you don't want to wait till game 5 to see, like, oh, DJ, are you ready now? You don't want to wait till then.
Yeah, and they still don't have a leadoff hitter. Like they still, Glaber looked okay.
Did good.
Glaber looked okay. He looked pretty good in the leadoff role. He had a good series. Judge was lost in the leadoff role. They don't have a lead. I mean, is DJ if DJ's hurt, would they?
No,
there's no way, right? There's no way.
Benintendi, but he's not going to be available for the series.
Yeah, we thought he was going to come back, and it's not looking good. So hopefully, a potential World Series return for Benny. But yeah, I don't know. Brian, what do you think about DJ? What do you think would be the best course of action?
Like I said, he has to really be honest and tell us when he's going to be ready by. If not now, we can't waste the roster spot on a guy that's not 100%. Like Danny said, totally correct. If he's not going to be of use, there's just no reason. I love DJ to death, but there's just no, you can't have a hurt guy on there. I could say though, if we were to do what you're talking about and replace Hicks and Marwin with DJ and Peraza, I mean, that is just a tremendous upgrade. and I'd love for that to happen. I don't know. It's interesting to see what they do. I don't know. You guys know when it's supposed to come out? I'd love to do a live reaction. I just don't know if it's probably not in time.
I think when the DS roster came out, I think it actually came out like right around this time, like 10 a.m. if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I might have been it might have been more like 11 because I think I was in class.
Um. Yeah, I don't mean we're not gonna make it to 11, but hopefully it can come out in live reaction then.
I mean,
Um.
Boone's got to figure it out. I mean, these guys are probably all hammered right now from last night. We might see a Rizzo lineup out there in game one.
What I loved most about what happened last night with their celebration, they just kept saying like, yeah, quick celebration, but like it's on to the next, and they knew they couldn't celebrate too hard because they had to get on a flight because of the MLB
Yeah, and
scheduling. Like getting
it's so annoying. Like that's not supposed to happen. Like you're supposed to have some time. Enjoy your last series win. They're getting handcuffed in so many different ways. Like your bullpen is supposed to rest going into the next series. That's the point. That's the point of winning a series, then going into the next one. You have an off day to rest your bullpen. But now we play 2 games in Houston with a bullpen that just pitched
What
4 innings.
one more thing about the Guardians before we can move
Glaber rocking the
on.
baby too.
Well, yeah, well that. But one more thing about the Guardians. I cannot stand seeing people on Twitter, Guardians fans, saying that the Yankees,
Yeah, like push for the
like the
rain out. Is
Yankees
that
pushed for the rain delay or the rain out. Sorry, that is the most ridiculous Yankee narrative that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the Yankees don't want to play. They want to risk facing Shane Bieber the following day. Like, what? Like, what?
Or a rested Guardians bullpen.
Arrested Guardians bullpen, even after they were already rested even more. And then they were saying that the Yankees had something to do with like the hotels. Did you guys hear about the hotel situation with the
Yeah, like
Guardians?
as if the Yankees have anything to do with that. It's fucking New York City. Like
So
people are gonna be
so
there.
ridiculous.
So
Like the
stupid.
Yankees booked up every hotel in Manhattan. Um,
I think you guys see you guys see Talking Jake reply to that. He was like, "Oh, thank God! Like I maxed out my credit card, but it was worth it." Like
yeah,
he bought all the rooms in New York. Like it's so stupid. Like that's what people think.
The
like
Yankees bought every single room.
Danny,
Uh,
we know a Guardians fan. We know a Guardians fan, and he was texting me, and he was saying, "Do you think that this conspiracy is valid?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. Like,
So
no,
stupid.
no, it's
no,
so
he said
stupid."
something like the Yankees are like a bad franchise and cheaters. Like they're worse than he said he compared them to the cheating Astros. He compared the Yankees to the cheating Astros
Well,
because of
that's
a
just stupid.
rainout,
I,
which is
and
the dumbest thing.
meanwhile, we saw a report after the game that the players were all in uniform. They had eye black on. They were all waiting outside of Boone's office, saying like, "Let's go out, like let's go play, let's go play." Like if they weren't gonna play, they wouldn't have been student. Like they would have left. Like why would they want to be there for an extra couple hours? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, the conspiracy, the whole thing is just stupid. So it's just I had a problem with that. Like the Yankees have no control over that. That's under Major League Baseball in the postseason. Like that's not under the Yankees' control.
And like MLB wanted to get that game in, and I was standing there in the stadium when it got to like 9 o'clock, 9:15. It's like they're not postponing this game now, right? They can't. They can't, they were waiting here too long. They obviously want to play, and then of course I'm on the train and look at my phone. It's 10 o'clock. Skies have cleared up. Could have been
Game
playing
could have been
baseball right
played.
now,
Yeah,
Did you guys
and
see
just
the tweet?
frustrating. And it lightly rained the whole time. Like it
it was
never got to a
drizzling.
point where it was heavy raining. It was light rain. Like you could play baseball through that.
We have
Very
firsthand
annoying.
experience. We have first account experience because we were there. It was literally drizzling all night. It
It
was
was just
drizzling.
drizzling, and then it stopped by 10. So even if you wanted to start the game at 8, get 10 to be like kind of earlier in the game instead of the eighth, ninth inning, fine.
So
But the game should have been
stupid.
played that night.
What tweet were you gonna bring up, Ryan?
There was a tweet that was like, thank you to all the fans that were like at Aaron Judge's fundraiser event last night.
I
Like
did not see that, but
you
that's
guys are all
insane.
you guys are all spending money and putting money in
Yep.
Hal's pocket for nothing.
Unbelievable.
I tried to Yankee Stadium chop cheese for the first time though. That was a perk. I wouldn't have had that.
Out of 10, what do you rate it?
It was actually pretty good. It was probably a nice
Really?
solid 6 or
I'm
7 out of 10.
jealous.
It was good.
I had the chicken bucket. I had to go with the classic chicken bucket.
I
Um,
wasn't. I was by like the bar area and the bleachers, and they didn't have
with
that.
Travis
I was
Kelsey.
with my boy Travis
Yeah.
Kelsey. So
I had the classic $60 chicken bucket, but um Brian, I want you to tell your glass now story.
Yeah.
I mean,
Real quick.
it's really my dad's story to tell, but I mean, my dad was at the pre-game 5 that Chase and Danny were at that got rained out, and then he was at the real game 5. In the first one that was rained out, he apparently just started I think he said he was in the bathroom and he just noticed this 6'8" demon in there, and he knows baseball like us, and he knew it was Tyler Glass now there, and they started talking. He sent me like a good picture of them together, and he said like he was there to support Tyone because they were friends from the Pirates days.
Oh,
So like
see, that
Glass was
makes
just there as a
sense.
fan. Yeah, he said like they were just so Glass was just like there as a fan, like no box nothing. Like he was just like in like on the regular concourse with the fans, and like apparently not a lot of people knew who he was. My dad was like saying they were talking for a while, sent me pictures together. So like that was just funny. So like I thought it was really cool. But then the next day, my dad's back at the game, like the real game 5. I get a FaceTime, I don't know, probably in the middle of the game. And I was like, I knew he was there. I'm like, he's probably like drunk or something. Like, this is weird. Like, he never FaceTimes me like that. And I answer, and it's Tyler Glass now. And he's like, what's up? So a really cool experience. I didn't even know what to do. I was like kind of confused. I answered. I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, my friends there. I was like, "Guys, like say hi to Tyler Glass now." My friends didn't even know what to say. They were like, "What?" It was really funny. Um, Shout out to my dad for that. Shout out to Tyler Glass now. He seemed really cool. He was like,
Yeah.
seemed like really like he was like smiling, and like he seemed like in a really good mood. I don't know. It was cool.
I
Friend
could
of the
I could
friend
just
of the
picture
pod
your
now.
dad at like the urinal
Oh,
with Tyler
friend of the
Glass now next
pod.
to
I
him,
know we should have got him on.
like just like looking at Tyler Glass now weirdly at the urinal, just be like, Tyler Glass, like,
Yeah, like
looking up at the
looking
display.
up at
Tyler
him like
Glass. Tyler Glass now's looking down in the urinal.
I mean, he is huge. My
Yeah.
dad's not like that short. I mean, the picture is crazy. He's like twice his
Yeah, I mean,
size.
Tyler Glass was that tall. That wasn't like a short thing. That was just Tyler Glass was that tall. But also, I
No,
mean,
no.
cool. We got to meet Travis Kelce. I mean, Chase didn't, but I got to meet Travis Kelce. He didn't let me take a picture with him, but it was pretty cool.
Bro, where were you standing? Were you in the center field? Like,
It was by the left field bleachers. Like, yeah,
was he like over there for a while?
yeah, a long time. And I got to dap him up. I was like, my boy Travis.
That's so cool. Um,
Yeah,
but anyways, enough of that. We're gonna
I could
end
guard
off.
him though.
We're gonna end off with the current series. So obviously, at the time of recording this, like we said, um, the Yankees are in the championship series against the Astros, and Game 1 is tonight. Jameson Tyone is on the bump. Hopefully, her mom will follow suit after Tyone, assuming all goes well. We're versing Justin Verlander. And his first Game 1, I think he gave up 7 earned to the Mariners, and they still won. The Astros still won. So it's not going to be an easy game by any means. Obviously, we would have to assume the Yankees are better than Seattle, but the Seattle played well against them. And if your ace is giving up 7 runs and you're still winning, it just goes to show how good of a team you are. So it's going to be a challenge for sure. Anyone got initial Game 1 thoughts while I'm scrolling through here and looking through the next few games?
I texted you guys like we all expected. Tyone Verlander Game 1 matchup. I don't know who you would say has the upper hand in this pitching matchup. I don't know who is in favor here. I think Tyone. I think we got the better starter on the mound tonight.
Probably. With
But
that infinite ERA, infinite postseason ERA.
yeah, infinite ERA. But I'm excited to see the lineup. I want to see what they do. Like we're saying with IKF, I want to see what they're doing at shortstop. I want to see what they're doing in outfield. I want to see what they're doing with this roster. I'm excited. I can't wait. I hate off days, so it would suck sitting waiting for the ALCS for a whole day, but it would be worth it. But still, I'm glad we're playing. I'm happy. I get to watch some Yankees ALCS baseball. I cannot believe we're here. I can't believe we're here now already.
First time since 2019, the ALCS.
I know.
Isn't that so
It's
weird?
crazy. That's crazy.
It feels
That's
like it
crazy.
wasn't that long ago, but it is. It is that long ago.
It is long ago. It is. It's awesome. We're in the ALCS, boys. We're here. Let's go. We're one step closer. Just got to get over the hump that has stopped us in the last 2 ALCSs we got to, which is the Houston Astros.
Yeah. I know a lot of people on Twitter, Yankees Twitter, are really fired up about this.
Set the tone early. Hit Altuve right in the face.
Let's do
right when he steps in the box.
Let's do keys to the series predictions, and then we'll head out. Anyone got anything?
Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge has to be Aaron Judge this series. We kind of got by with him not being Aaron Judge, but he hit 2 home runs, so he helped us out. Anyway, like we said, it's a good sign that we won without Judge doing anything for the first game. and even game 4. But we need Aaron Judge to be Aaron Judge against Houston. Maybe take Verlander deep tonight. Why not? Who cares? And I think the key to every game, my big key, especially with Tyone on the mound, score first. Score first. Get the first run. Like game 1, I said that going in, got to score first. We didn't. We still ended up winning, but the Houston Astros aren't the Cleveland Guardians. Score first. Score first in every game, and you got a chance. You got a better chance, I should say. But especially with Tyone on the mound, you don't have you got to score first for him. Let's score in the first inning tonight.
Brian, do you have a key to the game? Or key to the series?
Key to the
Sorry,
game.
Key to the series. My apologies.
All right, key to the series. I think it's got to be our offense, just in general, like as a whole. I think we've been like we won that series with our pitching. Like there were some big offensive moments, but we won that series with our pitching. We're not gonna be able to do that against Houston like as much. Like they're a good team. Like they're gonna hit the long ball. We know how good their lineup is, and they kill us every time. I know Jane doesn't like to think that they kill us, but I think they kill us at least. Like, well, I mean, I guess in the regular season our pitching was better, but I got to see what happens. I think. Do we even talk about like the possibility of Marinaccio coming back? Like that could be huge.
We didn't. Yeah,
that would
like
be huge.
True.
He said he's ready to go if they call me. So like that's in comparison to DJ saying I'm still in pain. Like that's like what you want to hear. I think that's what you want to hear. So what I think, like we got to get Mariachi. You know what? Like, there's no reason they shouldn't. Because if we're being honest, they kept Miguel Castro and Herman on the roster and didn't even use them. So like, Miguel Castro was clearly not in their plans whatsoever. So just flip flop him and Marinaccio. That's an extra weapon right there. Who was our best guy before he got hurt, in my opinion. So I'm going to change it. I know our offense has to be our offense and has to be good and score runs. But yeah, like maybe Marinaccio could be the key to the series to really give us an extra bullpen weapon that will be rested and coming back from injury. And I do think like a thing that was just kind of coming to light recently is that as good as Verlander is, like lately in the playoffs, he's not been that good. We saw what he did against Seattle. I mean, that was horrendous. He gave up 6 earned runs in 4 innings. I think they actually just ended up coming. Yeah, they did because they swept them. They come back in that game. But, so that's huge. If you can jump on Verlander, because, I mean, we all know, like, let's just call it how it is. Verlander Tyone game 1 is, like, as bad as it gets for the Yankees. Like, you're not going to have a worse matchup in maybe any playoff game. But the Yankees have no choice what they had to do unless you go Herman. But that's what they had to do. So if the Yankees can somehow come out hot tonight, the bats come out hot, get Verlander out, and hold on, because that might be another key to the series is holding on, because we see how the Astros keep coming back. All playoffs against the Mariners. So if the Yankees can steal a win in game 1 after what happened last night, Tyone versus Verlander, which nobody expects them to win this game. If they could steal a game 1, that would be monumental for the series. And last key, I'm giving out 100 keys here, but another key is minimize what Yordan can do. He's their best guy by far at the plate. You got it. Like when there's a time to walk him. Like I don't want to see him constantly beating us like he did to Seattle. Let the other guys beat you. I don't want it to be Yordan comes up and homers every time, and it's just like we get frustrated with it. Like minimize his impact as best you can.
I mean, Yordan is the reason they won that series. He had the walk-off 3-run home run down 2, and then he hit the go-ahead 2-run home run in game 2 down 1. So without Herman, they don't win that series. But going on the lines of Marinaccio, you know who else might be coming back for this series? Frankie Montas said they said that he might be back for this series.
He might be going to the bullpen though. I mean, he's got high velocity, so we'll see.
If he takes like the spot of Herman, then I don't want it. Keep Herman on the roster.
No, use him for like Cash or Litke. Like you're not going to use Litke. Like they didn't use.
I mean,
Litke
but if Tyone gets in trouble early and you need a guy to face lefties, you don't want to.
I think Litke has some sneaky value because like Peralta is our lefty guy, but I mean his arm's going to fall off. Like if we keep using him at this.
But what if earlier in the game we have to use a lefty guy? If Yordan's
exactly, that's why I think Litke should stay.
Kyle Tucker, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like early in the game, because if we don't think Tyone is going to go 6 or 7, right? We're not expecting that. We don't even think he's going to go 5. So
no, I think Maxi gets us 4.
Yeah, and that's fine. If he could get us 4, 1 to 2 runs, I guess. Would rather 1 and 4, but he can let up 2.
But if he is pitching well, let him ride. Let him ride, please.
Yeah. I want to see Herman in this game, though. I really want to see Herman.
We've seen Boone with the early hooks, and like we said, I think especially with like the bullpen being, I don't want to say depleted, but they've gone through a lot of work this past few games. Like you got to try to get the most from everybody. Obviously, you still want the quick hook, but sometimes he's a little too quick with it, and that's going to be the big thing to see. I mean, we know their offense is really good.
I wouldn't mind the quick trigger, really. I wouldn't mind it. Obviously, too quick might be if
It depends
Tyone's
on the
absolutely
situation.
kneeling, then yeah. But
I mean, if he's in the third and he gives up his first hit in the third and like
yeah,
boom
I
pulls
mean
him,
that's
like
dealing.
that's like
That's dealing. That's dealing.
Well, my key to the series, I agree with you, Brian. The offense just needs to show up because our pitching is not going to win us the series. It's going to be our offense, I think. But my key to the series, you got to take one in Houston in these first two games, and then you get back to the Bronx. I kept saying to you guys, get us back to the Bronx for the Cleveland series, and they did, and look how it turned out. So
we're always better at home.
always better in the Bronx. Just get one game in Houston in these first two games. If it's tonight, that would be absolutely ginormous. And then because then I think tomorrow they'll probably have Severino going. But
Nice.
if it's tonight, like I said, ginormous. Get one game in Houston, get back to the Bronx. You win both of those games, hopefully, and then you have room for error. You're already up in the series 3-1. So, just win one in these first two games. That's my key. And I'm gonna go. Let's do series predictions. You guys are probably not gonna like my prediction. We're gonna go around the room. I'm gonna start off my prediction with Astros.
You're not seriously saying Astros are going to win the series.
I have to. I gotta be different. I gotta be honest.
No, that's stupid. You can't
Yankees,
possibly.
Yankees in 5 or 6. Six. I
Yankees
kind of want to
in
win.
5?
That's crazy.
6. I say
That's
6.
crazy.
I say
If
6.
Yankees win this series, it's going to 6 or 7.
That's.
I'll
I
say
was going to
6.
say.
I'll say 6. And because I kind of want, obviously it would be cool at home. I kind of want to win in Houston. I want to win in their faces. Yankees in 6. Yankees in 6.
Brian.
I'm going to say Yankees in 7. I mean, I love to win. I don't know.
All right, let's ride Yankees in 7 then. I don't think they're gonna win in 5 or 6, so I think it'll
6.
be 7.
Yankees in 6.
Let's ride Yankees in 7. Let's do it. Win a game, offense show out. Danny, what was your key again?
I had 2. I mean, score first
Score first.
and judge.
Judge. But yeah, that's all we got. I think we've probably already kind of intuitively set on doing an episode after the conclusion of every series. Is that
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes most sense.
so? The next time that you guys will see us, I don't know when the latest possible game 7 is, but off the top of my
I
head,
think it's next Wednesday.
so that will be the latest that you'll see us if you see us by then. And
No,
but
next Thursday.
make sure to keep up with our Twitter live tweets all game at official STN pod right there on the screen if you're looking on YouTube or watching on YouTube. Make sure to follow on Instagram where you're going to see all home runs. I've been posting every single Yankee home run throughout the entire series. So make sure to keep up with that at Spreading the News on Instagram. TikTok at Spreading the News also on the screen. And we will see you when this series is over. So hopefully we'll
Survive in advance. Go Yanks.
we got
Go.
we got some good news because if we get to the World Series, it's our fucking year. Just had to say it because it's the Phillies and Padres. We're winning the World Series if we get to the World Series. Just gonna go on tape or on record and say that. Anyways, thank you all for listening. This has been Chase.
Brian.
Danny.
We will see you all. And good night. Actually, good morning. Bye bye.